My name is Kristie Barker, and I was born in Brenham, Texas on October 8, 1991. Being raised in Brenham is a large part of my culture. It's a small town in southeast Texas. I grew up in a rural area right between Austin and Houston. We had it all. We spent many of our days and nights in the country, but had quick access to the big city and anything we needed. Brenham is like one of those towns that you see in movies. Everybody knows your name, you always see somebody you know, and it's just a really special community. The country is a huge part of our lives. I was born in my mother's hometown of Huntsville. It wasn't too long after, 1 month later to be exact, that we moved to Brenham, where we have been ever since. I have a sister, Katie, who is 3 years older than me. She and I were raised very similarly, but were allowed to have our own interests. This was very important to our parents, and it definitely helped us to create our own personalities. Family is very important to us. Growing up, we always ate dinner together, and my sister and I never had an event that we didn't have at least one parent in attendance. We were always supported. When we were on our own, we had our strong faith to lean on. We attended the local Methodist church nearly every Sunday, where we were baptized and confirmed. We spent much of our time outside and at the ranch, where I have always enjoyed to hunt and fish. We grew up as sports enthusiasts, and sports taught me so much about being a team player, a skill that I use daily as a teacher. As a toddler, I began attending the local church school. This is where I met most of my friends, and I'm always so happy to tell people about the connection that I still have with them, even 25 years later. This is another thing that I have to thank Brenham for. My friends also helped to shape me into the person that I am today. I have always felt drawn to people like myself, and that's exactly what my friends are. In fact, they are more like sisters to me. We have the same morals and come from the same cultural backgrounds. As we grew up, we all went to different colleges and now live in different towns. I moved on to attend Sam Houston State University, a place that had always held a special place in my heart. As I mentioned earlier, I was born in my mom's hometown of Huntsville. My grandparents lived there, and my grandfather had always taught at Sam. I loved Huntsville because it reminded me so much of Brenham. Since I was a little girl, I always knew that this is where I would end up. I wanted to teach, and I wanted to be in Huntsville. I definitely attribute the way that I speak to East Texas. My friends often laugh at my accent at times. I grew up in a town around strong German roots, but my dialect is definitely more reflective of the plantation roots in East Texas. As an adult, all of these things are still a huge part of my life. I don't attend the same church, but I have found my own church home that I attend regularly. I don't eat dinner with my parents every night, but we still find time to do this at least once a week, and always together on the holidays. Family is so important to us. I even find time every few months to have a girls' trip with my friends, who feel more like family. While I wouldn't say that I have a very culturally diverse background, my job at Brenham ISD has done wonders to provide that for me. The second I stepped foot in their doors as a first-year, first-grade teacher, my eyes were open to everything that I had never seen or known about my little hometown. There were lots of things that I didn't even know had existed. There were children in poverty, there were children who were homeless, there were children who moved every 3 to 6 months, and there were children who were living in all of these circumstances with hearts of gold and positive attitudes like I couldn't imagine having under those circumstances. I quickly realized that I had lived a very sheltered life, and these children have taught me so much more than I ever knew. I don't believe that my attitudes, behavior, and personality have changed much as I've gotten older. However, they have definitely grown and become stronger as I see more and do more. I am very family and friends oriented, and I live for Christ. These two things define who I am. They are my culture.
To bear it to dark Calvary. about shit.